right, everybody, let's talk about some of the things I got on the watch list this week. I have been noticing that the S&P 500 has been absolutely ripping, and a lot of people are calling for, oh, this is too fast, this is going to be a big market crash in the future, but the market crashed, and the people that are saying that are the people that weren't scooping up shares, the people who weren't talking about the reversal, calling for the all-time lows on the S&P 500, all this other crazy stuff, but the real reason for anybody that has any sort of common sense is if the labor market is still strong and if the unemployment data does not start ticking up, and we don't see massive layoffs or hiring freezes continue throughout, then we most likely will not see very much downside, right? So unless there's a pretty big significant number or the inflation data doesn't continue to pull back, which it looks like it's starting to pull back. We already got that data last week. So maybe now we get the rates raising a little bit less. 75 basis points seems a little bit less likely now. If it's 50 basis points, and that's a really bullish thing for the market. So unless we see that unemployment data start ticking up, then I don't see a reason for us to be completely selling off because, yes, technically GDP-wise, you're in a recession, but growth had to slow down at some point because it was just absolutely taking off since COVID. So without further ado, let's look at this week. We're seeing a massive rally here. This is a huge green candle, and I really do think that we tap this $430 level on the S&P 500. If we don't see that overnight or the open mark, I would like to see a little bit of a pullback to test that 430 on the SPY. QQQ. I have this nice little uptrend drawing from the daily chart. If I zoom out to the weekly chart, still super strong. It's sitting right at this 330 level. I see another one around 337. So that's on the weekly chart. If we scoop back to the daily chart, it looks like it could squeeze through that. It's above this 200 EMA, which is this green line. The Bollinger Band is really expanding out. So we could see that 337 on the QQQQ. So I'll look for that 330 break with confidence, 335, 337 area on the QQQQ. So SPY 430 QQQQ down to like 3 or up to like 337 if we remain bullish. I also love Tesla. Tesla is a great opportunity right here. It looks like it has a nice little bullish break from last Friday. If we can get above this 912, 910-ish area with some confidence, I can see us heading right up to that 950, if not above that 950 break and heading to like that 972-ish range, 975 to this resistance level right off this base that it was forming quite a while back in April. So I'm looking at Tesla breaking out. I'm looking at the SPY testing that 430, QQQQ, that 337. And then I really want to point out two earnings this week that I'm paying attention to. Home Depot is one of them. Home Depot is a big sold off stock. Obviously, this looks like a little bit of an overvaluation. There was a lot of extension over here back in October. So we had a nice little sell off of this, and now it looks like a lot of things are starting to ramp up a little bit, and we're tested right at that 200 EMA. So I wouldn't be surprised if we broke this 320, and if we had some upside, we have upside to 344. So this could be a home run play, especially with the fact that there is some nice downside. So we could even see like a 288 to the downside. So it seems to me like a strangle might be the play here, depending on IV percentage and theta. So Home Depot, definitely an earnings watch for me, and I also want to pay attention to Target because it looks like their 200 EMA is very far above here at this 193 level, and we're trading at 172. So we have this massive gap from 209 all the way down to this 163, and obviously we are above that now. We're within this gap, so maybe potentially we head up to this 193, 200 EMA on the daily, and then obviously a massive stretch would be 210. I doubt we get to that 210 level, but filling this gap would be pretty key for them. Maybe even to this gap around 185. So I'm looking at this 185 level on Target. If things are looking good, retail numbers are a big piece. So be careful of the Fed minutes this month or this week. I think that is on Wednesday. Fed minutes are going to show us what the likelihood of what interest rate that the Federal Reserve is going to hike again. So this could be super interesting week. I really do like the Target retail numbers, especially with Home Depot. It looks like there's some good opportunity there, whether it's a strangle, gamble on the call side, put side, doesn't really matter. But the big pieces that I'm looking for are SPY to this 430, QQQQ, to this 335, 337 range if we continue to squeeze upwards. And if the market is bullish, I love Tesla. Hopefully it waits off a little bit till like maybe Wednesday to start breaking out, because Wednesday is more so the cheaper contracts because Tesla's super expensive on Mondays. But love the way this looks, love the way this is set up. And I think that's about it. That's about all I got for the watch list this week. I got the SPY, QQQQ, Tesla look all primed up, and then Home Depot and Target retail earnings are amazing. Pay attention to that FOMC minutes being released this week as well. That is going to determine where the markets go. So hope that's helpful. Hope that gives you some insight on what to look out for, what market updates we have going on, and what the overall indexes are doing. and I will be paying attention heavily to the SPY and QQQQ like always. So those 337 and 430 levels are key to watch this week. So hope that helps you out, and let's make some money.